guess you know now. Baby, I took a half and she took the whole thing. Slow down, baby. We took a trip, now we on your block and it's like a ghost town. Baby.
Welcome back to another video. I think we should just get into it because this story that I found, ridiculous.
We'll see.
Okay. Let me get comfortable.
No, wait.
Because I can't read.
You stressing me out. You can't read.
My glasses.
Oh. Maybe you should put it on.
No.
Okay.
My own sister made false accusations against me because I refused to supply alcohol for her party.
Okay, go ahead.
This happened some years ago. I'm in my 30s now, but back then I was 22. My sister was 18 and was my mom's golden child. My dad thankfully has a good head on his shoulders and always called my sister out on her shit. But my mom's interference always meant my sister got off easy anyway. This is what happened back then. My parents decided to take a vacation to ski in Aspen and let my sister watch the house for them. They told her no parties, but that was a rule she straight up ignored. A day after our parents left, my sister started sending out invites to a party, and she was promising free alcohol. I didn't see that post just yet, but my sister called me and asked me to go get alcohol for a party because I was over 21 and could legally buy it. She also wanted me to pay for it and said she'd invite me to the party and introduce me to an easy girl in order to pay me back. I told her that I wasn't...
Hold on. You want sister or brother? Older brother.
Older brother, younger
Older
sister.
Brother, 21.
He's 22. Sister's 18.
Sister's 18. Not allowed to drink.
No. I'm just mad she said free alcohol. Do you know how expensive alcohol is?
Wait, first of all, free alcohol, but you can't get none. But not only that, if you do this, I got you someone that's like so fucking easy. Like you get your nut in. Like
I told her that I wasn't going to break the law to make her happy. She should have never told her people that her party would have alcohol. She screamed at me over the phone that I was ruining her life and that she couldn't take back the invites now that they were all over her Facebook.
You know what that sounds like?
A personal fucking problem.
Personal ass problem. That's what that sounds like.
It sounds like you better go find somebody else.
Right.
Get somebody else to do it. I looked at her post and face palmed. I told her that what she did was really stupid and she and her friends were all underage, so it's illegal. She tried to say it'd only be illegal if I narked on them. I said I wouldn't narc, but I wasn't going to buy her booze either. Right. She screamed at me some more, so I hung up the phone. Well, that night my sister had the party, and someone called the police for underage drinking.
Who bought it, though?
After being arrested and confronted by police later on, my sister threw me under the bus and said that I'd supplied the alcohol she was using. Turns out, she actually broke into Dad's liquor cabinet and thought it'd be better to frame me for her crime. Police came
and... The way I would beat her ass, the way my parents would come back home and not find their child, they'd be like, where's she at? 6 feet under, that's where she is.
6 feet under, she get the fucking paper. 6 feet under. You know that song?
I do not.
The Weeknd?
Oh.
What? That's crazy.
Not that that's crazy.
Police came and arrested me at my apartment the day after the party. They seemed already convinced I was guilty and didn't really listen to me when I said I was never there. But I willingly cooperated with them.
So 22, he had moved out at that point?
Yeah, he had his own place.
Oh. Bitch, I was home. Like, what are you talking about?
At the station, I told them the whole story and got them to look at my sister's Facebook post. Thankfully, there were a few people there who listened to me, but I still had to sit the night out in a cell while my parents were called.
In a cell is crazy.
He's
like, I'm completely, utterly innocent. And they're like, you still got to in the cell, though.
You still got it. Relax. My mom and dad flew back home overnight and bailed out both my sister and I. But my mom...
Both of them got taken?
Yeah, because she got arrested first because it was her party, and she was supplying alcohol to minors, and she is a minor. And she got arrested. She was like, my brother did it.
Didn't even put the handcuffs on yet. They said,
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It was my brother.
But my mom tried to make my dad leave me in jail because my sister had told them her lies as well. But my dad had the time to talk to me and look at my sister's Facebook, so he believed me. This caused a fight between him and my mom. When they got home, my dad discovered my sister had broken into his liquor cabinet and spoke to the police on my behalf. My mom, however, still wanted me to take the blame, wanted the blame to fall on me because, as she put it, the charges were ruining her baby's future. But my innocence was further proven by the fact that I and my car were seen on CCTV when I left work and when I arrived home soon after, as the apartment I was living in then had CCTV cameras to watch the parking lot. My car did not move from there for the rest of the day and night. In my sister's story to the police, I had driven out and gotten the alcohol for her. But I wasn't seen on any cameras in any liquor store in the county. And my bank account showed no transactions buying alcohol. My parents' house also had a camera at the front door, and my car was never seen in the driveway that day. After being confronted with those facts, my sister's story changed to saying I already had the alcohol and gave it to her at my apartment. But my sister's car never showed up at my apartment either. And there was like three...
She's just digging herself into a bigger hole.
It gets worse.
What do you mean it gets worse?
There were like 3 cheap beers in my apartment fridge and no hard alcohol.
He said the cheap beers.
My sister finally had to give up on her lies, and my parents were severely disappointed in her. But my mom still tried to convince me to take the fall for my sister. She came to my apartment and actually demanded that I tell the police it was all my fault, and that I said I wasn't going to ruin my future for my sister. She refused to leave and went from demanding to begging. She even got on her knees and tried to convince me that she and my dad would make everything okay in the long run if I just took the blame now. I said I'd rather live my life poor than have that felony on my record. She threw a huge fit and started throwing things because I refused to do as she wanted. I threatened to call police, and she left my apartment cussing me out like a madwoman. I've never heard so many F-bombs out of her before or since. But she kept them all the way to her car and followed it up with saying she should have aborted me before driving off. I called my dad right away and told him everything that happened. He was insanely pissed and got in a huge fight with my mom as soon as she got home. She didn't even deny anything she said or did because she deemed it would have been for the greater good of their daughter. But my dad told her that she couldn't destroy me to save my sister. Then he threatened to divorce her if she didn't try to make things right. She ended up sobbing and then saying she'd do whatever he wanted. My dad said it was couples and family counseling or it was divorce. My mom signed a prenup before she married him and really had no choice. In the family counseling, I called her out on how she always believed my sister's lies. My sister tried to say that they were not lies, but each one I pointed out from over the years said otherwise. I'd taken the time to write a list of all the ones I could remember from the past decade that had all been proven she lied. And my mom and sister were forced to stay silent as I read them all. They tried to interject repeatedly, but my dad and the counselor silenced them. Real gangsters move in silence.
But silence.
Can I get silence? My sister, now proven beyond a doubt to be a liar and a manipulator, just shut down and refused to say anything more to the counselor. And my mom finally apologized to me. But it was obviously a forced apology because she looked so uncomfortable doing it. I told her that her apology was very fake, and after so many years of favoritism, the damage was already done. My relationship with her never really recovered because she was convinced I was guilty no matter what she was said until my sister admitted the truth, and then wanted me to pretend to be the guilty one anyway to protect her favorite child. But nothing went her way, so she just went back to crying about it. When my sister went to court, my mom pleaded with the judge to go easy on my sister for the charges of her underage drinking and giving other underage people alcohol, as well as attempting to frame me for her crime. She also resisted arrest when the police came and shut down the party. She was very drunk when it happened. They kept her in a cell overnight to sober up, and then she told police I had been the one to provide her the alcohol. My mom's begging, along with a relentless lawyer my parents hired, got the judge to cut a deal, provided my sister plead guilty, which she did not want to do. But her lawyer highly recommended she take the deal to avoid jail time. because there was no other way of keeping her from getting a felony on her record. My sister's lawyer used the fact that the alcohol had not been brought that day, but rather had already been in the house long before the party happened to help lessen the charges. My sister's Facebook had also been completely deleted by her as soon as she was able to in order to hide the post. The judge just wanted the case over with, so my sister got off with a huge fine that my mom paid most of out of her own pocket and a couple years probation. She was also made to get therapy too by our dad. She's really never showed any actual remorse for what she did though, and only had animosity for me no matter how in the wrong she was. She was eventually diagnosed as a narcissist after dad made her go and see a doctor. After her probation and 4 years of college were over, she decided she was going to leave home for California and never come back when she landed a good job. She currently works in an office in LA and we've not spoken in years. Dad got her that job and she's not shown any real appreciation for it. Even my mom has given up on her ever coming home for the holidays and us being a family again. It tore her up inside for a few years, but now she's better. She doesn't really blame me anymore, but we only seem to show indifference to each other. Just because my sister cut her off wouldn't make me the new de facto favorite. It just means my mom lost her baby and isn't getting her back. She can't leave my dad because she's too reliant on him despite having her own career. She'd never want to be on her own again, so she's just become a shell of her former self. Things between me and my dad are still great. He's pretty much disowned my sister for what she's done and has stopped caring if she'll ever talk to him again. He and my mom don't even sleep in the same bedroom anymore. She moved onto the guest bedroom some 5 years ago and has stayed there. Their marriage is really only one on paper these days. Info, it's a felony or misdemeanor to provide alcohol to minors, and my sister provided stolen alcohol to at least a dozen people who were under 21. Then she resisted arrest and tried to frame me by lying to police. The fact that she got off easy thanks to the shark-toothed lawyer my parents hired for my sister was incredibly lucky. Not that she was ever appreciative. The judge hit her with a fine for each person she gave alcohol to, which added up, and with the cost of the lawyer, well, my parents were out of a lot of money. Edit. Yes, my parents are wealthy, especially my dad, as he's a business owner. He owns several businesses, actually, one big one and a few smaller ones. He even owns one of the local gas stations, and the town we live in is full of bored police who are just itching to get some action. I also heard that a couple of the minors arrested at the party were the kids of police as well, which did not help my odds when the cops came for me. The reason the investigation went as far as it did because my dad pushed it through. I also went out of my way to provide some of the evidence, like the cameras from the job, my apartment complex, and my bank statement showing I didn't buy the alcohol. The rest my dad pushed for. He hired a lawyer to get cameras from every liquor store in the county from that day, though my mom tried to talk him out of doing so. In the end, this took way too much to prove my sister was a liar because she's tried to stick to her story hard, even after my parents discovered she got the alcohol from my dad's liquor cabinet. And yes, my parents lost a ton of money, basically paying off the court to dismiss most of my sister's charges. My sister had to pay like 10%. That's about it. And that's just the little bit that my parents made her pay. They still paid for her college after that as well, so people calling this out as rich people drama are exactly right because it is just that. At the time this went on, I was still in college myself, but my dad insisted I had a part-time job to learn the value of work, and he was exactly right about that. My family is wealthy, but my dad tried to keep me from acting spoiled growing up. I even bought my own first car with money I earned working part-time, but I can't say the same for my sister as my mom treated her like a princess. The rest of the family as a whole also hates my sister after what she did back then, so there wasn't much love lost when she ghosted us, save for my mom. She cried about it often for an entire year. Edit 2. Yes, this happened in the US, and yes, it was stupid the way police arrested me. My dad had some pretty strong words with them about that. But I guess the cops had nothing better to do, and the arrest was expunged from my record after I was proven innocent. But as someone in the comments pointed out, it's scary how easily your freedom can be taken away. I've instinctively avoided police ever since that happened. For them, arresting the son of a rich guy must have been a big scandal waiting to happen. And no one was injured as a result of a DUI. But I've spoken with my dad, and he said there were a few DUIs because of the few minors there got away in their cars and tried to drive away. Considering I heard of the few of the people there were kids of police officers, that only made things worse for me. The cops that arrested me looked middle-aged, so if their kids were involved, that may explain why they treated me like I was guilty. Those who say this is fake, I wish it was, because it's stupid that it really should be. But my ungrateful sister broke our family, and she nearly destroyed my reputation as well. These days, everyone in town has forgotten her. She lost most, if not all, her friends after that party because they were all arrested.
The way
Mhm.
Because now I'm really going to jail. You wanted to send me to jail for something I didn't do? I'm going to jail now for fucking ending your life.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I would not. I'm sorry. Like, I love my mom. Me and my mom have a really close relationship. But, like, if that was ever a thing, like, if I had a younger sibling and that was everything, I would never need to speak to her ever again.
Yeah, that like when I read that, I was like, how do you have like such blatant favoritism between your kids? You're first of all, you shouldn't have a favorite child. You should love your children equally.
Yeah.
Each child is yours and is a mixture of you and your partner's DNA.
Right.
That like all your children should be your favorite child. You shouldn't have one favorite child. Like my mom makes a joke where whenever like my brother's throwing tantrums, whatever, she'd be like, "You're the favorite right now," but I know she's playing around. This was crazy.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, "Yo!"
She straight up was just like, "I like your sister better than you."
She said,
"And you will be going down for this."
She said,
"But say that you gave it to her before you
No,
went on
like,
your little
I was like,
vacation."
I was like, yeah.
Crazy.
So there's an update.
Oh my! I don't know if I want to go through this because that just pissed me off. That made me so upset.
Yo, I was like,
like just thinking about it, like, I would never need to speak to that woman ever again.
It gets worse. Okay, so this is the update 1. So
Update 1?
I think there were like 2 updates. Okay. Yeah, 2 updates total.
Long as hell?
No.
Don't lie to me.
It's not like super long.
This bitch just lied to my face.
No,
she said it's not super long. Scroll back up. Back to the top.
No, because I was in the comment. See?
Dia. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs.
It's okay. That story was like 10 paragraphs.
Bro.
So this is short. Shut up. I expected to be able to log out of this account and just not come back, but it seems my sister saw my original post on YouTube. She since called home and attempted to raise hellfire.
She need to sit in California and relax her uterus. She need to relax because she know what she did.
She contacted our mother in a furious rage, saying that I've humiliated her.
Good.
And in a complete shock to me, my mom did not care.
Yeah, because she peeped.
My sister...
I still wouldn't talk to her, though.
My sister told her how to find the post, and she read it, and now she was mad at me. But more so because she felt I made her look like a bad mother all over again.
You are a bad mother. You are a bad mother. You blatantly, straight up to your child, literally straight up to everyone, was like, you need to go to jail for your sister. I don't give a fuck about you, but your sister is my baby.
She was like, it'll work out in the end, but right now you need to go to jail.
Go to jail? What do you mean it's gonna work out in the end? I'm fucking done.
But my dad got involved and said it wasn't like I was lying. Because back then the things she and my sister did were inexcusable.
His daddy the OG.
Honestly, his dad's a G.
Because his dad was like,
He said silence.
He said absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not finna do my baby like that.
I'm sick of the bullshit.
My mom agreed in a very sad way, but still said she wished I'd never posted the story. I suppose I couldn't fault her for that. I ended up talking to my sister over the phone because our mom gave her my current number.
You could have just not answered the phone. You don't.
He might not have known it was his sister.
But why are you answering unknown numbers?
Sometimes I do, cause like sometimes it's like doctor's offices, or it's like my insurance calling me.
Leave a voicemail. I'll call you back.
Not to leave a voicemail. I'm dead. I ended up talking to my sister over the phone. Oh, and the first thing she did when I answered was scream in my ear.
I would have hung up.
I stopped the call because of the screaming, and so the call was followed by a flurry of text messages. My sister demanded I take my original post down. I refused. She threatened to get our parents to make me take it down, but our parents by this time already knew about...
Hold on. She's gonna make parents do what?
Tell him to take it down.
How old is he?
In his 30s.
Oh, he a grown-ass man. Yo. That man is grown as hell. He ain't got to do shit he don't want to. But go ahead.
But our parents by this time already knew about the post, and among them, our dad does not care. Our mom is more mad that I made her look like a bad mother all over again.
Mother, okay.
She then threatened to get a lawyer and sue me for defamation.
Ooh.
The sister.
Go ahead, do it. Do it. Do it.
I told her to go right ahead. My post was made anonymously, and if she sues, then a lot of people are going to find out my post was about her. She asked if that was a threat. I said no. It's just something that'll likely happen if people dig more into both of our past if she starts a lawsuit. It might even affect her career.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than responding in a text, my sister called me again and I told her I'd hang up and block her if she screamed in my ear one more time. She angrily demanded I just take my original post down or else.
Ooh, how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? No. How about no?
Oh my
How about
god.
you relax over there? Because if you want to get booked, you could lose your job. You really could.
I pointed out
that job would have been like underage drinking
and supplying alcohol to minors.
We need to have a talk.
I pointed out this is the first time we've spoken in 6 years, and she had no problem throwing me under the bus in the past anytime she could.
Right.
And now she's mad because her own actions are reflecting poorly on her when no one else knows the story was about us, but about her but us. And I really didn't care what she thought of me anymore. Dad has pretty much disowned her, and she destroyed all the golden child love our mom had for her.
Not really. I don't think so. Because if she were to come back, like let's say she comes back and gives mom maybe like 2% of like, oh my god, mom, I love you. It'll go back.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Because do you think about it? She's doing. This is not something that happened. Like this is something big that happened. But like, imagine all the lying and the manipulating she's done before. And mom was still like.
But then also she also like they paid for her to go to college, and then like once she graduated, she was like, "Fuck y'all, I'm out," and then dipped. But
mom was still mad about it for a year.
She was sad about it for a year, but then she was just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, which I'm saying, I don't think it's a like whatever as in like, oh, I honestly don't care anymore. It's probably like a whatever to like protect herself. And I'm thinking if sister came back and was like, mommy, like,
okay,
she would be like, that's my baby again. Like,
let's see.
Not the let's see.
My sister actually denied being a golden child, so I started to explain exactly what one was. She interrupted me saying that she's on Reddit all the time. She knows what a golden child is, and
Obviously not.
And I could only laugh at the fact that she knows that and still denied having been one. I pointed out all the things from my first post, how she lied so much, how she always had her mother on our side, and how she was openly our mom's favorite, and how she expected everything to be handed to her. She was a golden child. There's just no denying that. Well, she took this very personally, and that she said she wished our mother had aborted me, just like she said all those years ago when I refused to take the blame for my sister's crime.
Yeah,
I just laughed.
You don't think I wish the same for you?
I just laughed some more. And asked if that was all she had in her little black book of bad insults. She did not find it. She did not find it amusing, but I found it so amusing. I fired back about how she is a self-important narcissist and always will be. She milked our parents for so much and had no appreciation for it, right down to that well-paid LA office job she's working that dad got her. She scoffed at me and said she got that job on her own merit. I laughed again. No, she did not.
Now stop that lying now.
Suddenly, a well-connected LA firm scouted her from several states away after college to come work for them when she has no prior experience as an intern. It just doesn't happen. The old CEO of that company was a friend of our dad's before he passed away, and dad called in a favor. That's how she got that job.
Wait, hey, can your father try to get me?
Honestly, I just graduated last year.
Please?
You know.
Because the sister's struggling out here.
My sister, of course, went into more denial about the truth I'd presented her, but I guess it finally clicked in her mind that I was correct. She's a narcissist, but she's not dumb, so she just started bragging about how well she's been doing at that job.
Yeah, she just hung up the phone at that point. We're not friends. We're not.
She made it to assistant manager and is said to be next in line for full manager someday. I was unimpressed, and she demanded to know why. So I pointed out.
I don't care.
So I pointed out that I've moved on to managing one of Dad's smaller businesses entirely. Sure, it was a technical promotion through nepotism, but I worked hard to own it. And Dad's openly stated that when he someday passes away, I'm to inherit everything. Not that I'm clamoring for it like she undoubtedly would. I actually want our dad to live a good long time. She was so angry that she hung up on me.
He basically said,
She
said, since you wanna gloat, I got you.
She was so angry that she hung up on me and then called our parents again. She asked Dad if she'd really been disinherited, and they confirmed she was. Dad's will is said to leave her only a small settlement so that she can't contest it. And if she tried to contest it, she'd automatically get nothing.
Oh!
Even our mom's will has basically written my sister out. My sister ended up...
Oh, maybe she don't like her no more. Out the will is crazy. The will? Damn.
My sister
I thought
ended...
she maybe had like a chance or something.
Nah.
Mama said, let me just break.
What child?
What?
Who?
I have a second child?
Mm.
Oh.
My sister ended up crying and saying it wasn't fair, but both of our parents pointed out that her framing me all those years ago wasn't fair. Ghosting them after they paid so much money to keep her from getting a felony and putting her through 4 years of college was unfair. They had nothing left they wanted to give. My sister ended up blocking all of us from phones to social media. We can't see anything now, but we don't care.
You know what's so funny? Dad is still better than me because I would have got that phone call. She's saying it's not fair. Da da da. Okay, well I can always call my friend.
Tell him to fire you.
Tell him to fire you.
Go find your own fucking job.
Yeah, you can
figure that shit out
yourself.
That's not my problem.
Right.
My mom has sat me down and gave me a long-awaited, more sincere apology for what happened so long ago. Especially for that day she tried to make me take the blame for my sister. Years without my sister in her life, and the recent incident made her realize more than ever that she was a terrible mother to us both and she can't undo anything. But she wanted to at least say she was incredibly sorry and that she loved me. She's just been too ashamed to really show it. She's now finally looking into therapy, and she's even making an effort to spend more time with my dad like in the old days. It's ironic, really. My sister tore our family apart, and then she somehow put it right back together by being just the same kind of nasty person she's always been. So sis, if you see this post, and I bet you will, don't bother trying to contact us again, because if you do, then any more drama you cause is going to end up right here. So please leave us alone for the foreseeable future.
Girl, give it up. You lost. Like,
alright, final update. It's the last update. I told you this was going to be a whole episode long.
Let me see it. That's the second
I told you, it's a whole saga. My sister came back pregnant.
Ain't no way! Ain't no way! Ain't no way! Ain't no way!
She came back pregnant. That was the title.
She came back pregnant. Oh. She better not have the audacity to be like, well, this is your grandchild and now you need to raise it. Do you believe? Oh my god. But who told you to throw that ass back? No one told you to throw it back. Oh my god.
My sister sank to a new low of manipulation with this one. A couple of months ago, she suddenly showed up at her parents' house with a boyfriend in tow and a positive pregnancy test, saying she was...
Not even a call. Not even, I'm coming to visit y'all.
Just
not even like try
pop
to
up, guess who, bitch?
Bruh.
Pop up, guess who, bitch? Ding dong.
Your
Must be that daughter I hate.
No, but like, you know, at least if you're gonna do some fucked up shit like that, at least be like, you know what? I want to come see you guys because I haven't seen you guys in a while. I know, like, we got off. Like, try to, you know, throw some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
sugarcoat it. Sugarcoat it.
Last time we spoke, like, it was really bad, and I want to come and see my family. I haven't seen.
Like,
you guys.
I apologize for what
I
happened.
apologize, stuff like that.
Like, my bad.
Yeah,
Like,
I want to come see you guys, and then pull up with a boyfriend and the positive
pregnancy test.
Positive pregnancy test, and be like,
surprise,
shawty.
Surprise, shawty. Saying she was 2 months along. She claimed she wanted to make amends so her child would be able to know their grandparents. I saw this for what it was from the start. My
He
sister
was sitting in that corner like, bullshit.
my sister went out of her way to get pregnant so dad would put her back in the will and mom would make her the golden girl again. But things did not go down that way at all.
Yo, I know his father opened that door. And she was like, Dad, I'm pregnant. He said,
Why?
no, he looked at her, he went. He said,
It was in February when my sister showed up all of a sudden. She taken
her around December.
Yeah.
I thought I got that wrong. I was like,
It's okay. You did the math correctly. I know you were a little slow, but you did that correctly that time.
No, I'm so proud of myself.
She'd taken a leave from work to come see us. She even tried to act all smiles around me, but I could still see the hate in her eyes. She still blamed me.
Again, if you're going to do that, like, be like, I know, like, we got off on the wrong foot and stuff like that, and we need to have that conversation, but for right now, can we just, like, enjoy us being back together as a family? And can we just like put this on hold for a second? This beef that we have, can we put it on hold
like
for a second?
let's make amends.
Yeah, let's make amends for like 5 minutes, and then we could go back to beefing. But like, I'm pregnant, guys. Like, let's celebrate it a little bit, and then we could go back to. How dare you not take the fall for me when I did something illegal?
That's just crazy. She pretended that she'd seen the error of her ways. Mom seemed to buy her act, but dad didn't at all.
I told you mom was gonna get sucked back in. She might not get sucked all the way in. That sounds very, very wrong. But she might not like she's trying to seduce the mom a little bit. Like the mom might not be 100%, but she got sucked in a little bit at like 50.
What? This is water from the fridge.
I know. It's just nasty ass water.
From the fridge?
This company,
It's good water. You just don't know good water.
Okay.
Please. But dad didn't at all. Though my parents having a grandchild is something they've been longing for.
Or they would low-key be like, okay, just have the grandchild
and then
give
leave.
It to us,
just leave.
We don't want you. We'll take care of the baby. You
just leave.
We just don't want.
Don't come back.
Here.
Don't come back. Don't.
We'll raise this child as our own.
So they begrudgingly accepted my sister back for the moment, but not without making sure whether or not this was a con. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, it was.
She's not pregnant.
My dad suggested my sister take another pregnancy test to confirm. We expected her to protest, but she took the one my dad got and willingly used it, and it was positive. So she was indeed pregnant.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to. I was ready. Okay, so she is pregnant.
My parents asked for some alone time with my sister, so I went home and didn't see them again till the next day's evening. Mm-hmm. I got the details on what happened from my parents then. The evening before, they'd had a long talk with my sister about all the things she's done and told her that they will help support their grandchild and set up a college fund for them, but if my sister wanted her place back in the family, then she's going to have to work hard for it and prove she's changed. Because it was obvious with the timing of the pregnancy that she had only gotten pregnant to try to get back in the family's good graces. Mm-hmm. She denied this, of course, but her past actions spoke for themselves. Mm-hmm. Our parents wanted her to seek therapy, both individual and group with them, over video calls, and they also wanted her to apologize for what she did years ago since she always refused to. That's when she finally broke and said that I don't deserve an apology because I'm the reason she got her life ruined to begin with. Well, my dad didn't let that slide and practically murdered her.
What do you mean? You threw a party when your parents literally said, do not throw a party. We're leaving you in charge of the house. Don't throw a party. You said, threw a party and said, we're going to get alcohol. Can you get me alcohol?
No.
You won't. Fuck you. I'm going to steal alcohol from fucking dad's
cabinet. I don't know what the fuck that was. She said,
I'm gonna steal and then I'm gonna get other kids drunk. What? What do you mean I ruined your life? Bitch, you did it yourself.
And then he told her that she was never grateful for anything they did for her and that she was only blaming me so that she wouldn't have to take fault for her own actions. My mom chimed in and said she had to realize her own past actions were beyond wrong. Like when she tried to force me to take the blame for my sister back then so her baby wouldn't get in trouble. And how she said those
baby's not even born yet.
And how she said those horrible things to me when I refused. And if she genuinely admit her wrongs, my sister could too. Well, my sister flipped out and left with her boyfriend. The few times I met the guy, I could tell he was only
When you said she flipped out and left with the boyfriend, I know that boyfriend was just sitting in the corner like,
beautiful weather today. And all I hear is, James! And he's like,
I was going to say, let's go, Kyle.
oh, James Kyle? The few times I met the guy, I could tell he was only with my sister for the money because she treated him like absolute crap. She even elbowed him in the stomach once right in front of me. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Fucking hands off me.
Anyway, my sister came back the next day with a long rehearsed apology for them, crocodile tears included. And again,
I feel like
no, she said Irina from Love Is Blind. I'm sorry, I just need a moment.
It's just.
And then her brother's sitting there, like the person from the crowd. Ah!
He's like, I just feel like you guys are taking his side, and like, you guys are not listening to my side. And he's just sitting there like this.
And again, the only reason my parents let her back in is because of the pregnancy. She was set up back in her old room and spent the next few days trying to act all smiles, but her act was pretty bad. She was still expected to give me that long overdue apology, and I met up with her and her boyfriend at a local restaurant our parents picked.
I don't understand why the boyfriend has to be there for the apology, but sure.
We figured if she was to give me anything even remotely genuine as an apology, it couldn't be around our parents.
Right.
She started off the apology by basically murmuring. And when her boyfriend wanted her to speak up, that's when she elbowed him in the stomach. And hard, too.
Yo, oh.
He asked
there to begin with.
For moral support. He said, it's okay.
To who?
He said,
who?
He said, it's okay, baby. You could just apologize. Go ahead, apologize. He's trying to get the money. He don't give a fuck about her. He said, baby, just apologize. Because once you apologize, we get the money.
I feel like he also probably got her pregnant on purpose.
He probably did. He thought he was going to get a bag.
Right.
He asked to be excused and left us one-on-one. And as soon as he was gone, my sister started what's more of a non-apology, basically saying she was sorry for what happened with trying to frame me, but that it never would have happened if I just gone with it that day and gotten the alcohol for her party.
Probably would have. The outcome would have been so much more work
because he would have been guilty.
Exactly.
And then we could have had a great time. I countered that she still didn't get it. She framed me, and when cops were called on her, it had nothing to do with me. So if I had helped that day, then I would have been arrested and charged too. I got up and said she still hasn't changed. She only lives in her little self-important world and walked out. Right. When our parents learned of this, my sister tried to deny the words she'd spoken to me. But my dad knows the owner of that restaurant. We were seated away from other...
Damn, Daddy just know everybody.
Well, he just said they were rich.
He did say that.
Like, so they got money.
Damn, he got people everywhere. I'm surprised that she actually got away with doing anything because he literally has eyes everywhere.
He said, I'm watching you.
I know.
I just feel like he probably didn't give a fuck until they actually got arrested.
Like, I know, like, somebody was like, I just saw your daughter doing XYZ. You need to come get her.
Not that you need to come get her.
Get your child. Like, I know it.
We were seated away from other noisy guests and were put right below a camera with audio. It caught everything. And my parents had the video within hours from the restaurant owner. They played it in front of my sister and told her this is exactly why she's not getting much in the will. Her child might be, but not her. No, they said because if they had completely taken her out, she could have gone and said, "Oh, my parents were manipulated because I was in the will before."
Oh, yeah.
So like that's why if you really don't like somebody, you don't want to give them anything, you leave them like $1 in the will, because then they can't be like,
I'll leave you 2 cents. You gotta be grateful.
Her child might be, but not her. That's when she threw a tantrum.
At what age will they give the child the money though?
Probably when the child turns. Usually with trust funds, it's like 18 or 21. Even 25. I've seen 25.
Yeah, I'd rather do it older because at 18, mom could still manipulate child to get
Yeah.
money.
I mean, parents be manipulating their children at all ages. That's when she threw a tantrum and walked out screaming at them, and that this time, she didn't come back. She got in her car, drove all the way back to LA without another word to any of us. She later called...
I know it's so weird to say. I'm not even gonna say it.
What? No, say it. 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 Say it.
No.
Say it. 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 Say it.
I was gonna say I hope she doesn't go through with the pregnancy, because that child does not deserve to grow up with her as a mother.
No, I agree. Here's where it gets funny.
Not funny.
She later called to say her boyfriend had left her, and she didn't.
I'm getting no bag. I'm out.
And she didn't know where he was. As I thought he was.
He disintegrated.
As I thought he was clearly in it for the money, and when their con failed, he cut her loose. So now my sister is around 4 months pregnant with her baby daddy pulling a runner. She's still sending her parents updates on the pregnancy, and my parents are having a very hard time dealing with the fact that their future grandchild is basically being used as an attempted bargaining chip for my sister to worm her way back in. And sis...
If I was the parents, I would have cut a deal with her. Give us the child and we'll give you a certain amount of money. You leave us the fuck alone. She has to give up like her rights as a parent. Because if they don't do that, she's gonna keep coming back and acting like, oh, like you're a grandbaby, like yeah. She's gonna keep trying it.
And sis, if you see this post, I did warn you that if you do this, I do this if you try anything else. You left our mother heartbroken all over again, our father beyond disappointed, and me as your mental scapegoat because you still can't admit it was 100% your fault you were disowned. You haven't changed a bit, and I doubt you ever will.
Damn. Wowzers.
Yeah.
She really came back talking about, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
Someone said,
so you guys should accept me now.
Someone said, I hate to be the dark one, but this reminds me of another entitled sister story, and that I don't even want to call her a woman, basically murdered her baby to try and get on welfare and make bank. That's crazy. We might have to read that story next video.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. Anyway, that's about all the time we have for this video. This was a longer video because that was a saga. That wasn't even a story. That was a series.
Bebe agua, because I know that throat. Okay.
Not Bebe agua.
Bebe agua.
But thank y'all so much for listening.
Thank you.
What do you think the craziest part of the story was? Because it was crazy. It was crazy.
I think the part that took me out was, hey y'all, I'm pregnant.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
And the way he worded it too, he said she came back pregnant. I'm like, what do you mean?
Because I don't think he was expecting that.
Yeah, like
no, she literally popped up. She said.
I wasn't expecting that. So when you said it, I was like.
She said. Like that's literally what she did. Girl, get help. Seek help. Go to therapy. Your parents, when they told you to go to therapy, when your parents tell you to go to therapy, you should go to therapy. How many times has your mom told you to go to therapy?
Never. She don't believe in therapy. But if she did tell me to go to therapy, I'm booking immediately.
Because imagine you going like spiraling or whatever, all the wheels are turning, and your parents say, therapy?
You need some therapy.
I would be like, you're right.
You may be right.
You're right. Let me go get this therapy.
Right.
Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like it. Don't forget to comment down below. And we'll see y'all in our next video. Bye.
Sometimes we cry, but I guess you know.